Once again, your turn, hashtag Undisputed Live. Here we go with the first tweet. Richard Sherman versus Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, it was good today. It was good today. It's been good. It's been good today.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Watching.
Irv, were you entertained, man? Are you not entertained? I was saying I had to go to the bathroom on the block I was out. I couldn't even leave. I got a hold. I held it just to watch you guys.
That's a real compliment. You held it.
Yeah, it was good. It's
tweet
good stuff.
number 2. This is the Raiders in Arrowhead yesterday. From the Chappelle Show. Yeah, that's true. Touche. Well done. And number 3, this is Cam Newton watching the Ravens 49ers game alike. Remember, Cam said that Brock Purdy was a game manager, not a difference maker. I think he was trying to be a difference maker for all the wrong reasons, but.
Cam.
All right. The Eagles barely survived another backup quarterback yesterday, this time at home as Tyrod Taylor threw into the end zone on the final play with the shot at a touchdown, 2-point conversion to force overtime. So, Michael Irvin, how big a threat to you are the Eagles now as we head toward the postseason?
I still think the Eagles are a huge threat. It's not. We see them go through a 3-game skid, and we say, oh, okay, is this team anywhere near what they were last year, getting to get back to a Super Bowl? Let me tell you something. The leadership that this team has says, yes, they can get back. Even after that game the other night, you could tell. You can tell. I read where somebody was saying Merry Christmas to Jalen Hurts. Jalen, like, is it Christmas? You know, I don't, even though we just won the game, I don't know nothing about this right now. There's no joy here because even though we won the game, we're really looking at where we're supposed to be. We're trying to get to where we're supposed to be. We will get to where we're supposed to be. So I like the way they are talking. You know, even as opposed, Dallas loses the game and try to pull something out of it, saying, well, you know, we did make that last drive. Shut up. You lost. Get out of here with that. Let me say that on TV. I just want you to be in pain and in anguish and in hurt and go and search the reason that happened and make sure it doesn't happen again. I want the deep pain to match the talent you have on the field. That's what I see with the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts. He's not going to let them play subpar football forever. They got back in the winning track yesterday, and they'll get back to playing better these last few games going into the playoffs. Dallas and everybody else got to do the same thing.
Richard.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still a big threat. I mean, anytime you have Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Lane Johnson,
Hassan Reddick,
Hall of Famer Hassan Reddick, Jason Kelsey, the playmakers all day, always open. A.J. Brown, the playmakers they have on that team, and, along with Jalen Hurts, you're going to be dangerous come playoff time. Are they feeling great right now? Are their fans probably feeling great? Probably not. Because, again, after the loss they just had, I knew that they know, everybody in the world knows they're going to play a few inferior opponents. You're going to play the Giants twice, and I think they got
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. And it wasn't about whether they're going to win or lose those games. It's about how they win or lose those games. You know,
True.
They wanted to win convincingly. They wanted to show, hey, Matt Patricia is the right decision at defensive coordinator. So maybe you want to hold him under 17 points or something. So just to give the team confidence, you know this isn't the greatest opponent in the world. This isn't a preview of what's going to happen in the playoffs, but you want to show, hey, we demoted Sean Desai and we promoted Matt Patricia, so that was the right decision. You can see it by the results. And that's not necessarily what you got. You got a loss to the Seattle Seahawks, and then you got the New York Giants scoring 25 points and a chance to win the ball game or a chance to tie the ball game at the end. Great play by Keely Ringo to intercept the football. But I don't think anybody's looking at this offense and this defense and saying, man, they fixed the problems that they had. You know, and a lot of this is schematically. You know, you could say Jalen Hurts played a solid game outside of the pick six to Adoree Jackson. He played a pretty solid game. They ran the ball pretty well. But still, you see a lot of the same concepts schematically. You see a lot of the same issues, the same reads where you're like, man, they have to, like Irv was saying, you got to put some window dressing on it. You got to do some other things to give the defense a different look, and they haven't done that. So I'm still concerned.
So I hear what both of you are saying about the Eagles on paper. They are highly impressive on paper, but that's the 8th straight game on the football field. They have not impressed me. They have not convinced me, because that's the 8th game in a row in which they have been highly unconvincing. And we had those 4 to start with where they were on the razor's edge. They were teetering on the cliff's edge, and they kept pulling them out. And then all of a sudden they took 3 L's. And then yesterday, just when it looked like they were about to make a mockery of the New York Football Giants as they went to Tyrod in the second half, then if we could see it, Jalen threw, as Richard pointed out, the pick 6 to Dory Jackson. If we could see it, please.
Pick 6.
And I wasn't ready for this. He just is a little bit of an overthrow, and Dory's off to the races, and then Jalen horse collars him and yanks him down. At least he tried to tackle him. And, okay, so we had that. And then when I least expected it, then Tyrod goes deep to Slayton for 69 more yards and a touchdown, if we could see this. And all of a sudden I'm saying, are you serious? We got a game in Philadelphia. And Blankenship, to me, Richard, I don't know what you think. I just think he's just a guy at safety, just a guy. He tries hard, plays hard. I know he gives you all he's got.
I think he's solid, reliable guy.
Yeah, okay.
But not in this area, not right here, not in that area.
Not there. Okay, so then we have Tyrod on the final play from the 26-yard line throwing into the end zone, and I still don't understand what happened to Saquon on the back line of the end zone, because it looked like he got knocked down, and he jumped up and was complaining about it. But as Richard points out, Ringo, the kid that Richard knows very well, helped sort of tutor him going into the draft. I don't know what happens to Saquon. It looks like he gets somebody knocks him down. I think he's the intended receiver. I don't know. You can see him go down at the back line, and he jumps up and is screaming to the referee. It just looked like he got knocked out of the play. I don't know. Maybe anything goes on those. It's not exactly a Hail Mary, but it's the equivalent of.
But guys latch on, Skip. They latch on, and if you're near a back line and in line, they're trying to push you out of bounds to declare you ineligible. So you can see Saquon was on the back line. There was somebody on the other sideline. They were trying to keep him out, push him out of bounds. The sideline is my friend, and they're going, and the sideline tries to help me. That's what they're doing there.
Okay. So the big picture of this is, has Jalen really played very well for about this back half of the season? Not really, and I love him. I'm his biggest supporter, but he has not played the way he played last year down the stretch this year, and they're paying the price for it. And to me, they still have the weapons. Again, when I look at it on paper, I say, wow, and then they don't play up to paper on the field.
Right. And Skip, let me tell you. Well, let me tell you what I think they're dealing with, and they've been dealing with it all year. And I don't know why they haven't come over it, because the reality is they're dealing with the pain, and they didn't get the ring. You see what I mean? You were in the Super Bowl. You were in the Super Bowl. You were there. But I'm talking about even this season. I'm not talking about just dealing with the pain of losing. I'm talking about now you got to deal with the pain of seeing everybody, and they're measuring their game and their season by you because you were in the Super Bowl. So you're getting the same thing the champions got, but you didn't get the ring. You getting the pain they got. Everybody's measuring by you, but you didn't get the ring. And you got to get your head up out of that and get back on this track to say, I need that ring. And then you'll match the hunger of those guys that you're playing up against.
Man, it always happens that way. Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, Irv. That's the hardest thing, to come back after a Super Bowl loss and feel like, man, we should have won it. And then you're taking everybody's best punch. And for the most part, earlier in the season, they were weathering the storm. You know, they were finding ways to win that game.
10-1,
Barely. Like Skip talked about, barely. And it's a razor's edge. And when you lose that edge, then it tilts the other way. But to that, well, I think they pull a lot of things out of this game. What you guys just showed, that defense stood up and made the play to win the game in the end. And earlier, right, when they went down and scored, and they needed a drive from Philadelphia. One of the best throws I ever see Jalen Hurts make, that throw right over the top of that backer, right to A.J. Brown on that big third. I was like, wow, that was an incredible throw. So they made the play offensively, then they got up and made the play defensively, and they can walk off with their head up high and try to use that as a marker. And I talked about this as a demarcation. This is what we're doing the rest of the year. It may look ugly, but in the end, we're going to make the play to win the game, and you still got a shot to win a Super Bowl.
All right. In a moment, we talk Ravens again. They are a 3-point favorite at home over the Dolphins in the next game of the year. Wait, only a 3-point favorite? That sounds like more disrespect to me.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.